State Representative Justin J. Pearson of Tennessee is back with me. And Representative Pearson, I wanted to go back to the fact that what you did in the Tennessee legislature to object to the legislature not wishing to consider gun controls after a very serious shooting in your state was what I call a small act of courage, right? It was a small act, meaning it was a small political statement that you took in the legislature, and it became a very big thing. The world learned about Tennessee. The world learned about you, and the world learned about the situation because you did something. And I'm trying to figure out ways in which you talk to people about inspiring them to say, in this moment in which democracy is at stake, what are the things you can do that will help fix it?
Yes, well, I always want to talk with you. I think the Tennessee Republican Party didn't want me to, and so they messed with our technology. But we're back. Look. We all have the power to have courage in difficult moments, and we have a responsibility and an obligation in such a moment as this to stand up, to speak truth to power, and to use our voices in this moment in time to encourage others to tap into the power that we know that they have. A lot of people who are in these positions, they want to silence us. They want us not to stand up. They want us not to speak up, but we know the truth. We know that the voices of the marginalized need to be brought into the center of the conversation. We know that people who too often are relegated to the back of the room need to be brought into the front of the conversation. And the reality is our democracy is at stake. And it's at stake in this election for the White House, but it's at stake in these general assemblies across our country. I see every day what it looks like for our country to move more and more authoritarian state. And Cameron Sexton and William Lambert, they support policies and practices that silence dissent and that continue to hurt immigrant communities, continue to hurt poor people, continue to hurt the LGBTQIA community. And so it does take small acts of courage. And oftentimes that looks like sometimes going to the well of the House floor, but that can also look like making those phone calls on behalf of candidates that you believe in, knocking on the doors for people who are looking to uphold our democracy. And it is always, always so important that we tell the truth and we hold that line and that value, because some other people who are running for office, they're going to lie. And we have to make sure that we're always telling the truth.
Let's get to the brass tacks of what the courage takes. You're a politician. I'm a journalist. We are used to criticism. We deserve criticism. We should welcome it. But, you know, going out to a rally or talking to people who know you gives you a certain energy and a certain adrenaline rush. But when you go to the well of the Tennessee legislature, what you did with Justin Jones, that you're in the lion's den at that point. Talk to me about how you got through that, how you decided to do that, and how you got through that, and what you thought the other side would look like.
You know, 1 year ago today is the anniversary of our expulsion from the Tennessee General Assembly. We went to the well of the House floor after the most significant mass shooting in our state's history, where 3 9-year-old children were killed and 3 school administrators and staff members were killed at the Covenant School. But also, it was a couple of months after my classmate from high school was killed. It was a few months after my mentor, Dr. Yvonne Nelson, was killed. Gun violence and the gun violence epidemic is very real to our communities. And in my district, unfortunately, we experience gun violence or its ramifications every day. We went to the well of the House floor, and myself, Representative Jones, Representative Johnson, because we believe that the people who we serve with shouldn't just be sending thoughts and prayers. When you are in a position of power, you do have a responsibility to do more than send thoughts and prayers. You have a responsibility to act. And the cowardice of the Republican Party in Tennessee was not to act on gun violence or to prevent tragedies like this from happening. It was to expel the 2 youngest Black lawmakers in the state of Tennessee. That is the response that they had. And it is because they do not believe in a democracy where people's voices are valued. They do not believe in a democracy where 7,000 people came to the state capitol of Tennessee asking for us to do something, to do anything. And instead of taking their plea seriously, passing a red flag law or anything, they decided that instead it was better to assault our democracy and to reduce the voices of 140,000 of our constituents, Representative Jones and mine. What it takes for us now is to see them for who they are and to use that as our determination to fight for the democracy and the American democratic experiment that we believe in. And we believe in one where everyone's voices are valued. We can disagree on so many things, but it is so important that we are heard. It is so important that we are fighting for people who are suffering the most in our state. And in Tennessee, gun violence is the #1 killer of children in this state. We are responsible for doing everything possible to change that. And since then, a coalition has formed of over 20 different organizations across our state. Thousands of people are marching and protesting and reaching out to their elected officials. We cannot be silenced, and this movement can't be expelled.
Representative Justin J. Pearson of Tennessee, we appreciate it. I'm sorry for the technical problems, but I'm glad we got you back, and I hope we make a habit of it, sir. Hey, everyone. MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.